Wolfie won the... potrafisz lepiej polski czy szwedzki? No szwedzki, mieszkałem w Szwecji tak długo, to pewnie, że po szwedzku umiem lepiej mówić. Okej. We're going to do subcoaching, right? We are loading into the game. I hope it shows on stream. Okay, it does. So, I can tell you already, the player we're going to follow here is Thresh, right? We're going to look at his gameplay and we're going to pay attention to what he does and try to learn from him, right? So Wolfie is our friend in the chat that we're going to help out. First of all, the first mistake I see instantly is the fact that you're running exhaust. You should not run exhaust in this game. Sure, your thought process might be that I will exhaust Wukong or Riven, but you lose too much lane pressure. She shouldn't be running exhaust either, because if you run Ignite in this lane, you can actually win it really hard. But since you don't run exhaust, it can actually hurt you. Like, I don't think Ignite, like I don't think exhaust is good at all in solo queue. Okay. Let's remove the music. Let's speed this up. I need to change the speed. They're doing the same, okay. Exhaust is not gonna... Exhaust is so overrated. Exhaust is better... Look. Exhaust is better when you're losing, but... Why wouldn't you take a summoner that is going to make you win the game, instead of taking a summoner that is good when you're losing? So, Ignite is going to win you the game. It gives you the potential of winning the game early on as well. It's not good late. It's still pretty decent against these champions that are going to buy a lot of lifesteal. It's not a bad summoner at all. And like Exhaust is better if you're losing, but why should you play as if you're going to lose? You need to come into the game. You need to have the mindset that you come in to win it. So here, you shouldn't sit in the bush. You have no reason to sit in the bush. You need to provide presence. You need to contest the wave. It's very important as a support. So let's just take a step back. As a support, you need to start hitting the wave already. You need to make use of your relic shield stacks, because pushing is so important. Pushing is winning the game. If you're pushing, you're winning the game. Dead Seal, you're completely wrong. Why are people under the impression that Exhaust is only for AD champions? What the fuck? You can win this lane super hard with Ignite. Exhaust is not gonna win you the game. It's not. It just simply is not. It's good if you're losing, but why should you play as if you're losing? You're overrating Exhaust. So, once again, you need to, as a support player in this scenario, Wolfie, you need to contest the wave, hit the minions, use your relic shield stacks, you know, hit the wave, hit the wave, hit the wave. Try to use your flay stack to hit your enemy, because they are getting too much free time on this wave, right? Like, Janna is doing the same thing where she doesn't hit the wave, but you can get such a huge advantage by just contesting the wave, you know? I see. Because you guys are reaching level 2 at the same time. It's like Exhaust is good in lane matchups that are completely passive, you know. If you play Alistar against Diana, you know, you're not gonna win this. But Thresh against Diana, this is a very dynamic matchup, and it's very close. Thresh can actually win this, especially with Ignite. That is why it's important. Exhaust in matchups that are really not dynamic, then it's completely fine if you think you need to exhaust Riven later on or whatever, you know. Then it's fine. But in this particular matchup, I recommend Ignite. And in solo queue in general, I think Ignite is way better, because it just makes your lane phase better. Dash! I'll kick your ass, man. I'm just gonna assume you're the real one. I'm gonna kick your ass. At this point, I just noticed once again, Jinx warded, okay. You got information on Wukong basically from Jarvan at this point. At this point you know that Wukong is topside, so this is, you shouldn't be too afraid. You're the one, you have 4 biscuits at this point. Don't allow Jinx to take the trades for you. The goal of a support, you know, the goal of a support is, simply because you have more potions, is to try to trade with the AD carry. That's why Janna is considered good in lane, because she can actually sustain the HP of the AD carry with her shield, right? So in this scenario, you want to try to be in a position where you can hit the Vayne. So in this scenario, I want you to stand here, right here. This is good positioning for you. Janna is very mispositioned. You need to be here, contest the Vayne, contest the wave, because she has only 1 potion, right? She has only 1 potion, Wolfie, and you have 4. So you trading with her is really, really beneficial for you. For example, right here, you're going too far back. You need to make use of your potions. It's so important. You're too far back. Here, they're trading together. So this is a trade that could have been heavily in your favor, and it wasn't, simply because you took a way too defensive position. You need to think of it like this. You have 4 potions, she has 1 potion. It's like invisible health. You have invisible health bars, and your invisible health bar is bigger. So doing trades, you need to think of it as, when you trade, you need to think of percentages, you know? Like she might do more damage to you, but you trade, you hit your E, you do the passive E, then still you're going to, like, since your percentage health is massive simply because of the potions, you have 4 potions, then you can do these trades. You need to commit into those. That's why Janna is considered good in the lane, because she can defend her AD carry and she can sustain the HP of the AD carry. Oh, this was a nice hook. Jinx misplaced her E really poorly. Jinx fucked up here. This was good from you. I will not pay attention to the rest of the game, I don't care. At this point I would recommend not to push. You can zone Vayne off of the experience really easily. You should not push at this point. But that's also your AD carry's mistake, but this is just overall recommendation. You should try to freeze the wave and deny the Vayne. Because under the tower she can safely farm, but they need to be afraid of your flash. Because Janna has no flash, they need to be afraid of your flash, because Janna is free Q. Jinx is basing for BF now, which is also fine, but you could have denied Vayne so much CS here. If you force the Vayne base before your own base, then you can pretty much win the game off of that, you know? I hope that makes sense. So Wolf, if you have any questions, just write to me, like in the chat, alright? Because I'm paying attention to the chat. Here's also like a tip, a general tip that I like doing. Sure, Victor is not in lane, but something that you can like keep in mind for the next time. Usually when you get out of base and you have a side stone, you don't want to run straight back to lane. You can take like a different path, swing around this area together with, depending on what is going on the map. Sure, Riven is mid, so there's a lot of things that come to mind why you shouldn't do it at this time, but just like a general rule of thumb, you should think of it as if you're not gonna waste a lot of time by walking through mid and going for a round here where you can maybe use your sweeper. Sure, it's on cooldown now because you just bought it, but you can place your sidestone ward, you can place it here, maybe sneak one. It might be a bit risky, but you can maybe take that risk because you have flash. There's a lot of things that you can consider just by taking a simple detour around this area. Maybe you can assist your teammate, maybe you can put pressure on mid, because at this point in time, Jinx does not need help. Vayne decided to base after Jinx, so she can farm this safely. She's under no pressure, so you do not need to be here. Instead, you're taking a detour and going for the wards now, and these wards, sure, ward and try is fine, but it's really good to place a ward on this side, you know, instead of warding here, because it just gives you more pressure. Like, you're completely under the dark here, so just take a different path. Go through mid, walk here. Don't show yourself though. Don't show yourself. Very important that you don't show yourself, because that puts pressure on your Jinx play, right? And you know Vayne based after Jinx, so you can leave her alone in the lane. You take a different path. You go through here. You place wards, and it's fine, right? Because you could have placed this ward right here, right? Does that make sense? When you should recall, I mean, you can recall when you push enemy, and what else? Well, you recall if you cannot lane, if you have too low HP. You recall, the most optimal scenario when you recall is when you've pushed completely the wave into the tower. And it's good, right? So this Jarvan is staying for way too long. He's running around with a lot of gold. I guess he wanted to save the Stalker's Blade, that's fine. Alright, let's just look at this trade. In these cases, you know, it's you can completely screw them over by taking over this bush. This bush is the power bush. So just sit in this bush, don't show. You have no reason to show here. Take over this bush, force them to place a ward, make use of your sweeper, and you are in dominant position. Because through creeps you cannot do much, right? Through creeps you cannot do much at all. It's like you auto the Vayne, you took aggro of the creeps, which is it's like it makes it like a worse trade. Instead you can try to freeze the wave as long as possible, deny her some CS by just sitting in this bush. Wukong is bottom, you know. Jinx is overextending, took damage for no reason. Wukong is dead. We should not overextend here. Imagine if you had Ignite, Cappuccino. Okay. How much to say here? I think it was decent. But it's like, for example, in this scenario, like Exhaust did nothing. At this point in time, after you kill Janna, you guys have enough gold for pickaxe on Jinx. You should just kill this wave and base. There's no reason to stay here because you have no pressure on the Vayne. You cannot dive her. You need to just base here. You're also on the threat of the Wukong. There's no reason to try to hit the tower here because you're not gonna kill it. The HP of the tower is irrelevant. In which situation should I have taken, for example, Bolt's mobility instead of Sidestone? It depends on how you play. It's like, if your jungler is stronger than enemy jungler, I think Sidestone is really good. But if he's not, then Mobi Boost is really good. Because the idea is, as a support, you want to take control over this side of the map. That is your objective as a support. Is not to win the lane. That is a step in the process. But the idea of support is to take control of this side of the map. And if Jarvan is stronger than Wukong, you can invest into wards and you can simply walk into this area and you can place wards together with your jungler. So that is the idea. But if you have Mobi Boots, you can assist him in the fights where he is against the Wukong faster. You can move around the map, etc. You know, it's a question of play styles, all. But that is how I like to put it. Personally, I like to get Mobi Boots first because I'm a player that I just don't like being bottom too much. You cannot do anything here for the Vayne. The Vayne is safe. You cannot dive. You have no summoners, you have no HP, no mana. She's completely safe. This is overextending. Sure, maybe it's easier for me to say in hindsight, but you have no reason to stay. Even if the Wukong is not here, there is no reason to stay. You want to base. You want to base. She wants to buy a pickaxe. You just want to base here. It's a good situation for you to base. You can even base and do dragon right after. You know, basing here gives you free dragon even, if you want. I just need to tweet out something. Give me a second, please. Give me a second. If we don't have golden items, should we back? Well, it depends on a lot of things. On HP of your enemy, on timings. There's a lot of things you could buy, even though you don't have money. HP is super important. I am coaching Wolfie right now. So let's continue, huh? So she got the pickaxe. Thresh died for no reason. Okay, you got boots and random cloth armor. Okay, that's fine. There's a lot of AD on enemy team. Garen is elo boosted. Okay. I'm gonna just tweet this out. Old photo. Looking forward to where okay, wait, let me pause. www.twitch.tv/YamatoCannon live. Facebook. Bam. Okay. So let's see what happened here. So this was good. Really good opportunity to take. Alright. Here you have quite a good opportunity to go for deep vision on this side of the map. Instead of hitting the tower here with... well, it's like hitting the tower is fine as well. But it's also important as a support player to recognize when you can get vision in this area. If your idea at some point to just push this out and get vision in this area, it's perfect, because Wukong was spotted and Riven was dead, so you could easily get vision in this area. Just take your Jinx with you. Take the Jinx with you. Go here, place a ward here or here. It allows you to push into this area. Because right now you're too scared to push in here, so let's see what you did. Okay, you did not. No. You should definitely take vision in this area. You can do Drake right after. Because you're losing so much CS here. Because they are freezing. You're losing so much gold. I cannot speak Swedish right now or Polish because I'm doing coaching for my sub Wolfie. We're doing the coaching for the sub, right? So I'm assuming you're buying Zeeks. You should definitely just get Moby boots at some point. The Moby boots is better the earlier you get them. Karol XPO, of course I remember you. Gdzie jest emotka kolega? Jeszcze nie zrobiłem. Dobra. So, once again, you're now going for this vision. Right now it's pretty dangerous. Like this scenario here, you're going for the deep vision. It's so dangerous. what is your thought process behind doing it? Sure, it's working, but let's pay attention to what information you have while doing this. The information you have is, let's take a step back. Wukong shows up here. This is the information you have. This is the last time we see Wukong. He's doing red buff. You saw his health pool. You have no information on Wukong. You have the information that Jarvan is top and Garen is top. Wukong is on bottom side of the map. Mid is in favor of you, but still, like here, you might as well have walked into a Wukong, and Janna would collapse on you, and you would be in trouble. You'll be in trouble pretty much. So this is, while there's a lot of value in it, there's still a risk. Always put thought process into everything you do, because the information is usually there for you. Because Wukong, he could have just fucked you here. He could have completely just fucked you. That's why I highlighted so much earlier when you got the opportunity to ward in this area, to do it, because this was like the golden opportunity. Riven was dead. Wukong was spotted mid, I think. He shows up here. Yeah, the monkey shows up here. Golden opportunity. Take the Jinx with you, step into here and ward, right? Step into here and ward. Good opportunity. Because we are losing valuable CS here. These CS are dying. Let's just speed this up. We've lost 6 minions. We're losing 12 minions. 12 minions have died. We lost 12 minions, you know? 12 very beautiful minions. So let's move on. So this is the word you should try to strive for. These words, why I'm talking about the vision so much is because these words, you know what they give you? They give you vision of the entire map. Either you spot the Wukong in these words, and if you don't, he's on this side of the map. So these two words, they give you vision of the entire map. That's why I'm emphasizing so much on these words. They give you so much information. These two words give you vision of the entire map. They're broken, you know? But then if people can use them or not, that's a different question, because Wukong just slayed your team. While in reality, it was very obvious that Wukong would be going top if he's not spotted on these two wards. He's either on this side, on this side of the map for sure. Good, good, good. Not too good. Okay. So, the problem here is the Victor is trolling you. Him missing this laser is very important. So, my big issue with this play is that, once again, we have the information that Wukong is on the left side of the map. Maybe you made the assumption that he based. But going for this type of play, where you see two people mid, right? Two people mid and two of your teammates are dead. So, worst case scenario, Victor is also on. Worst case scenario, you are gonna get fucked by the Wukong. So this, first of all, this is like a rule of thumb. You don't put yourself in a position where you can get condemned by the Vayne. So going into this area was like a mistake. Standing here still makes you safe, but you kind of followed too deep for the Riven. Going past this point, when the heal has been burnt and Victor laser has been pushed or used, you need to just walk away. But this is where the mistake is, you know? And of course Jinx is trolling. So this is bad once again. You have no reason to show mid. Don't show mid. Don't show mid. You know, they know you're mid. You provide no pressure on the map when you do this. Don't do this. Don't show mid for no reason. You just show mid. Sure, they have vision in this area, but this should be a rule of thumb. This ward, place it closer to the wall, because this is, you place it as close to this wall as possible so people can get trapped. But this important time, you have no reason to steal experience from the victor. It's completely pointless for you to be mid. Like, fishing for hooks, doing this is so dangerous. It's like you're so far up. The only thing you should try to strive for here is just try to make sure Victor can push the wave, and that's perfect, because you're going to lose 2v2 no matter what. You're not gonna kill anyone ever 2v2 as Victor Thresh. It's just not possible. You have information of your Jarvan, you have vision here. The only goal you should try to perceive here is to lantern the Victor out if he's in danger. Because you cannot win 2v2, so it's completely pointless. The goal of this should be Victor, you want Victor to push, you want Victor to push, you want Victor to push. That should be the goal. And then already now, you know, Vayne doesn't even have Blader and King anymore. What did Vayne do? So Vayne is trolling. Vayne is trolling. For sure. She's saving up for Blader. She can afford Blader and King, and she doesn't pay for Blader and King. Because she could punish you really hard by being here at this time with Blader and King and pressuring the Vayne 1v1, because Vayne beats her right now. She has flash. She could beat her. So once again, you have no reason to be standing up so far up here. Really, it's so easy for them to catch you. Don't do it. What the fuck did Janna do? So this is Janna trolling too. Like, what is he doing? What the clown? Right? Because like the decision I would make is I would be bottom at this time. I would try to be bottom at this time because I would be scared of the Vayne trying to all in the Jinx. And then when you push out this wave, you try to aim for this vision again. After Victor has managed to push out as well, you try to go for this vision. You ping your Jarvan, there's a donkey, and should stop trying to gank the Lulu. And then you will have a successful game, right? Because you want, once again, you want vision in this area, so you don't lose CS here. Because right now you've lost 4 waves of CS right here, when in reality you should be able to pressure them. You get me, Wolfie? Does that make sense? So once again, you're doing the same thing where you're walking up mid. Here it makes more sense because she's low, but this flash was senseless. Oi. Not too good, Wolfie. Wolfie, I don't mean to sound harsh, you know. Don't mix emotions into this, you know. I'm going to put this VOD up on YouTube, so you'll know everything, right? This might be a lot to take in, but you'll be able to rewatch it and whatever, you know. That's why I'm trying to squeeze in as much as possible into one thing. All right. And of course, some things I say that you need your jungler to do this. Sometimes your jungler is not going to be there. Then you don't do it, you know. You just don't do it. That's just something you have to deal with, right? Here once again we're losing so much CS, but Jinx doesn't seem to give a fuck. Well, we're not losing now, cheers. Vayne is losing more. Never mind then. You went for Ninja Tabi, I guess that makes sense if you didn't go for the Moby Boots. Like, if you cannot get Moby Boots early, you should probably go for Ninja Tabi. I like this. This is good. I like it. Okay, so my issue with how you're playing your Thresh here is you're trying to be Blitzcrank. You're trying to be Blitzcrank, but you're not Blitzcrank. Alright, you're not Blitzcrank. In this composition, you need to take a look at what the goal of Thresh is. The beauty of Thresh is you can play him both ways. That's why he's so good. Blind pick. You can play him both ways. You can play him as the guy who catches people, or you can play him as the guy that saves people that gets caught. So in this particular scenario, you have a team composition that has longer range than the enemy. Take a look at this, right? You have a composition that has longer range simply because of Jinx, Victor against Riven and Vayne. That is what you need to pay attention to. So the goal of you, they have to engage on you, right? They have to engage on you. That's what you need to pay attention to. You're not the one that has to look for engages. They need to look for engages on you, simply because you have a composition that is longer range than the enemy team. So you have advantages in sieges. The enemy team has to engage on you. So you need to be the lantern bot. You don't need. You're not the guy that is supposed to hook people, because the danger of Thresh, when he hooks, his animation is really slow and he cannot move while he does it. So here, you're trying to be Blitzcrank, right? You're trying to be Blitzcrank. You're taking a lot of free damage. It's very hard to reach them. But in reality, you should be far back. You should be saving people. You should be the one saving people that are getting caught, because your team composition here has long range, and you're the one that is supposed to go commit into sieges. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Here they find a very clean engage on you. I would be very scared. So in this scenario, you can pretty much safely assume they are on this side of the map. We've done some back and forths. You have vision on them. You know they are on right side of the map, right? So your team just needs to play to the left side. No need to take this unnecessary poke. Once again, it's the Blitzcrank theory that I talked about. So in this case, your team needs to already be kiting back here, because you know they're on this side of the map. This is just a team mistake. This is not your mistake or whatever. Maybe you shouldn't use Lantern like this, but you still have it off cooldown, it's fine. It's like, this engage to me is predictable, but this is just something that people do in Platinum. Sometimes it happens, you know. This is nothing to do with you specifically. What I tried to highlight was just the mindset that you should try to aim for when you're playing Thresh in a composition like this. This is like a team mistake. You saw them on the right side, you should play to the left side. Because this area is completely yours, you can play around it, you lean towards it, you can hit the tower from here, you can have your Thresh standing here, you can be on this area, right? Maybe they're doing Dragon, that is just a gamble that you take, but you're completely safe by being here if they try to engage on you. They will end up doing Dragon. Okay. You're walking out of base. Does the Wukong have Sidestone? I cannot see it because of this new spectator system. It does not. No Sidestone on the Jarvan either. We are running through mid because we're fighting. Okay. Good job. No comment here. Here once again, No reason for you to be here. Garen is walking here. He's giving you like a vision. Riven is in mid. Go play some good value wards. No reason to try to be Blitzcrank once again. Get some value wards going on. Place a ward here. Place a ward in these areas. Place a ward in this area. Sure, you have enough vision in this area. I would just place wards here. It's like this syndrome that I call you have, right? Well, syndrome is such a harsh word. You're playing only Thresh, but you're not playing support. You're playing Thresh, but you're not playing support. That's what you're doing. The first step is to recognize the value of vision like this. Sure, you kill the Riven, but it's her mistake to die in the first place. Which kind of brings fallacy to my point, but yeah. I don't know what the Jarvan is doing here. He has no reason to go here. But I feel like one of your tendencies is to sit mid a bit too much. Because the idea of support is you can be here without being here. You're showing up all the time. You can be here without being here by just playing on enemy's vision. You get me? You can hide in bushes that you've swept, and you can be mid without them knowing you're mid. Get me? That's why I don't like that you're showing up mid so much. You can be mid without being mid. I hope that makes sense. So the vision I talked about earlier would be pretty lovely in this scenario. So the Jinx is on some heavy drugs here. Oh, well, the Jarvan has smoked some serious kush. So the Garen loses the fight here by flashing over. If he stayed in this scenario, Jinx would be safe to DPS, and yeah, he just solo lost. I'm not too sure if I like the choice of Zeke's Harbinger. I think getting Talisman of Ascension is actually more important in this case. Because they don't really have... This is not a DPS race. This is a utility race. It's like, you're not supposed to... this is not going to be a DPS race ever. It's all about utility, mobility, and getting Victor and Jinx out of trouble. They have longer range, they can contest the DPS always against these people, right? So it's a question of utility, not DPS. So I would go for Talisman of Ascension here, simply because utility is so key. Getting away from the engage of the enemy is so key. Saving your Jinx Victor is so key because they have longer range. Always, it's in team composition, it's in a simplified version, it's always the team that has longer range is the team that is going to be engaged on. So you need utility here. Let's move on. Riven is actually playing good, but she's skilling up the wrong abilities, so never mind. She's a clown. Why are you spectating? I promised a subscriber that I would do some coaching, and this is me doing some coaching. I don't understand when players do this. Why does she leave the wave like this? Sure, she's scared. Yeah, she's probably just scared. But she saw two people mid. She saw that Victor was low earlier as well. I would probably risk it for this wave. Whatever, no biggie. I can understand why she didn't go. It's understandable, never mind. Never mind me. So this vision is once again very pretty. Very pretty vision. I just want to check how you got it. So this is a really good move. Really good move from you. Here, mid is pushed in, nobody's showing up mid. Even though Victor is basing, you're completely safe in doing this. I like this type of move. I would ask for Jinx to give you assistance, because there's a small risk that Vayne might chase after you, but you're taking very minimal risk because you just showed up bottom. So I really like this move. This is really good move. Really good. There is no risk, and you're getting all the vision you need in the world. Beautiful. This is yellow star level. Good job, Wolfie. Once again, we're doing this thing where we're showing up mid. Here it is different because it's later in the game. Here you're doing it better. Jarvan is dead, I think. Maybe not. Q here for the sick wombo combo flag. Okay, so let's analyze your moves. Here we pushed in the wave, we have the vision, Garen is top, Jinx is far back, very dangerous. No need to be like Wukong could just go for you with his flash and the smite, right? You have your flash on cooldown, he doesn't have his flash on cooldown, he could just go for you here. They spot the Jarvan here, it's very easy for them to decide to engage. So once again, you're trying to be blitzcrank when you're Jarvan. Here you're playing the fight correct, you're just trying to disengage. Imagine if you had Talisman here, it would be beautiful. Your Ziggs Harbinger is not going to do much. Jarvan showed up on wards, so that's a big problem. Garen is very slow, doesn't matter, doesn't impact the fight. So we get engaged on 4v5, so it becomes very problematic. Okay. Czemu ten stream po angielsku, a pisze się po polsku? I'm doing sub-coaching for Wolfie. No need to take damage like this. Warding over the wall here is not going to give you much. I haven't really paid attention too much how you use your sweeper, but for example here, you see the ward over the wall. This ward is over the wall. This ward is very risky to do. You're taking free damage, you're in the pit. I don't like this. Do not go for this. Ward over this right here. You can ward over the wall here. But warding over the wall does not give you much. Not much at all. Just unnecessary risk. Especially since you spotted Wukong doing red buff with low HP. So you see Wukong here. You don't need to take any risks. Sweeping here, warding here is good. Taking unnecessary damage over the wall, no good. Now it's all about Nashor, right? You don't need vision in this area. Drake just died, so you need to contest this vision. Your goal as a team and as a support now is to take control of this side of the map. So how do you do that? You simply push in mid, you walk in here together, somebody pushes in here, which is going to be Garen, and you walk in here together, ward here, and it's fine. Don't take this pathing though. Don't take this pathing. You cannot take this pathing if this wave is pushed in. So you need to just take this pathing and go around and take this pathing. But instead we're allowing them to push, which is no good. We're just in base, so we didn't need to like do anything. So here once again, I want to just see if you showed. Yeah, you showed. You definitely showed. Don't show for no reason. Never show for no reason. No good. Here once again, we were too slow Feels like the enemy team just has better players in terms of how to control the map. So this is very problematic. Victor is basing at a really poor time. This wave needs to be pushed in. We don't have any wave control all over the map. And you need to work together to get the wave control. I'm not too sure what you're chasing after here. Very unnecessary. So it's like, why I'm complaining about how we control mid is because they are stronger in the enemy team, they are stronger in the split push, but they're weaker in mid because they have nothing to wave clear with. But still, we're losing the mid wave, which allows them to split push however the fuck they want. Okay. So this is not like a mistake for you, but this is just a team mistake. The fact that you guys are not pushing out mid and playing 1-4. You push out mid, take vision over this area. Like the goal of the team should be push out mid, take vision over this area, and then Garen pushes this out because he has vision here, and then you push out mid again and take control of this area. But sadly this guy doesn't have a side stone, so that sucks. So you take vision on this side of the area and you have like vision over the entire map, and enemy team will struggle to split push because they are lacking in vision. That is how you win with 1-4. So we have two people dead. Jarvan died mid. Still we are fighting for no reason. Your position is correct. You should instantly go for Lantern for Victor. Janna is a god, it seems. I'm pretty sure you guys could have killed Nash. You can kill Nash. You will kill Nash, I assume. Why are we hitting Lulu? Fuck Lulu. Finish the Nash. Finish the Nash. Finish the Nash. Ugh. No. Oh my god. Your team should just finish the Nash. Really. No. Oh my goodness. Finish Nash. Yeah. So there you finish the Nash, right? Fuck the Lulu, she's completely useless. She's dog shit. Just ignore the Lulu, finish the Nash. Okay. Jinx left the wave in a weird position again. She was down bottom and didn't push it out. Like Vayne was showing mid. There was nothing that could threaten her. Kind of frustrating. Okay, Vayne died. But the problem in this game is, like I can imagine already now. I haven't watched the entire game, but I can imagine you lose the game because these waves are never pushed in. And that's like, it's like, I'm not saying Lulu as a champion is dog shit. I'm saying Lulu the player is pretty dog shit because she bought Rala's Crystal Scepter and Hourglass. So already there, I know she's dog shit. She's not useful. So what happened here? Well, that's good. Jinx is trolling. She's not paying attention. But how did you lantern? Don't lantern yourself like this. Walk into your teammates right away. Oh shit, what did I do? Your lantern is game winning, right? Wolfie, don't pay attention to people in the chat. This is something you have to deal with. Don't just remove all emotions from it. You're here to learn. I'm trying to give you as much knowledge as possible within this game, you know? Don't pay attention to what people are saying, right? So, here, no reason for us to look for an engage. We are not looking for an engage. It's like they have a composition that is so fucking strong. If you try to walk into them, you know, they will kill you. They will kill you twice. You know, if we had 2 people of every champion on your team and you try to run into them, you'll die. But they have weak range. You need to make use of that range. At this point in time, we're very behind in gold. They have Baron, so a lot of things are problematic. Jarvan tries to engage, it's no good. It's very hard. Jinx is not playing optimally as well. There's not much you can do at this point. Enemy team is just too fed. Like Wukong and Riven, they're too strong. Too many kills. It's like, while the gold is 66k to 60k, you might think that okay, this is not a big difference. Who cares about the gold? No, it's a big difference. Trust me, it's a big difference because the gold of towers is the same. They have 1 Nashor and they have 10 more kills. Kills is focused gold. It's focused gold on specific people. That is way more valuable than global gold. It is 10 kills of gold is focused on specific people that scale a lot harder with gold. You know? If you get global gold, it's not equally worth. It's not equally worth as like solo kills, because all this gold is put on one person. And in this case, Wukong is so fed that he could feed entire Africa with this gold, you know? And Vayne too, and Riven too. And then you have, sure, you know, it doesn't matter. And of course, I told you, Ziggs Harbinger, you should go Talisman. You should go Talisman first item. Way better for you. At this point in time, you guys are too behind, and Garen was trolling by not using his teleport. Drake spawns in 50 seconds. Get vision over this area again. Try to refresh your wards here. It was a good opportunity. You cannot gain much here. You had time to ward and go back. This fucking pink has been alive the entire game, huh? So, Jinx is trolling. I don't know why she didn't just go straight mid. Makes no sense what she's doing. If anyone should be here, it's Garen, and then you put Jinx mid. Oh well. At this point in time, the rest of the game will be just a clown fiesta, right? So I'm gonna. So, Goofy, my main lessons for you, my main thoughts for you. Let me just summarize them, right? Let me summarize them for you. In lane phase, you need to position better. You need to position more aggressively. You need to position in a way where you can trade with the Vayne, because you have a lot of potions. She does not. She does not have a lot of sustain early on, and you can push her out of the lane. That is first. And in the lane phase as well is it's like your Thresh mechanics seem alright. I think it's fine. What you need to pay attention to as well is sometimes it's not good to just push all the time, especially if the enemy team is chunked. You do the good trade, you put them in a position where they need to get out of their mini wave, and then you pretty much have to you force them to go back in the lane because they're very safe under the tower. I think that speaks for itself, right? So once again, it's like if you're in a position where you can, they've wasted summoners, you're stronger, then you need to play by this. You need to allow them to push out, reset the wave, make it slow push towards you. This is, of course, is relevant to your AD carry, but it's important as a support to understand the concept as well. And the other thing that I noticed was you had a good idea of the value of wards in this area, because once again, wards in this area gives you wards of the entire map. Controlling this area is your goal as a support. Winning the lane is your goal as Thresh. So this is two separate things. Always as a support, you want to control this entire area. This is your side of the map, right? So how do you do that? You push out, go together with Jinx, whatever, pay attention to the map, pay attention to the information you're given from the map. If Wukong is topside, you need to punish him by taking over this side of the jungle. That's just the nature of it. Of course, your jungler is very relevant to it, and sometimes you cannot do things simply because your jungler sucks. That happens. But as long as you have the mindset of what you need to accomplish as a support. The other thing that I noticed was in the first 10 minutes of the game, I saw that your mindset was to be blitzcrank, but in reality you need to be more like a Tamkench, you know. You need to save people that get caught. That is your job. The mindset of your team composition here should be 1-4. You're weaker in the split push, so you need to push mid and get vision over these areas. So once again, when you're in mid, you need to not show so often, because if you are in fog of war, you can be mid and you can be bottom at the same time. They cannot know. They have to take a risk. You can be both sides of the map at once, because if you show, they know you're there, you're physically there. If you're missing, they are thinking, oh, we have vision top side, okay, he's going to be in this area of the side of the map. It's like being a jungler almost. So try not to show as much, because you can get experience without showing. You can be in this bush, you can sweep, you can take control of this area, and you can be a lantern bot for your Victor, because you're not that strong in 2v2 in mid. You're trying to be blitzcrank. You get me? And that is pretty much it. I will upload this on YouTube as a VOD. You will get to rewatch it. If you have any questions, feel free to write to me, and it should be fine. I hope things that I mentioned today made sense. If you have any questions, just write to me, alright? This game, I don't think there's a point of watching it anymore. I think it's pretty much over, unless you guys steal Nashor here or whatever clown fiesta is going on. Okay, the Jarvan got it. Let's pay attention to what you did in this fight. Jinx once again went bottom. I would report this Jinx for intentionally feeding enemy team. So, alright. So thank you very much, boys. So I'm gonna grab a quick phone call. 1 second. Hallo. Sjoeke. Alright. So, Wolfie, I hope that makes sense, right?